It's good to see you.
Lacey, it's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Jay, we're really glad you brought a family member in with you. Lacey, the reason we asked him to bring a family member is because it's a lot of information that you get when you come into the office. And so having a second set of ears helps us to hear some of the things that we might not have heard. And it also lets us have someone to discuss all the things that we heard and talked about today. So thanks again. We really appreciate you coming in.
You're welcome.
So Jay, you and I talked a lot about your nervous system and some concerns that you had when you came in last week. Did you have a chance to talk to Lacey about some of those things?
Yeah, I did, and when you told it to me, all made perfect sense by the time I related to her. Yeah, not so much.
Would appreciate another explanation.
Right.
Yes.
So if you don't mind, I'm going to discuss some of that with Lacey.
Yeah.
Okay. So Lacey, you know much about the nervous system?
Not really, no.
Okay. Well, the nervous system is made up of the brain and the spinal cord and all the nerves that come off of that area. So let me use this to help me explain it a little better. So here's the brain and here's the spinal cord, and these are the nerves of the neck. And why those are important is because they go to things like your eyes and your nose. Helps you to see, helps you to smell. And this is the chest area, and the nerves that come out of the chest area go to important organs like your heart and your lungs.
Those are kind of important.
Very important.
Told you.
So the nerves in the low back area go to things like your intestines and your legs. Okay, so it helps in digestion, it helps you move about.
Is that what he's talking about, that he's hurting?
Absolutely. So this is an area that's of primary importance to Jay and some of the concerns he had, which actually brought him in.
Okay.
Okay, so we're going to be talking a lot about that. So, Lacey, do you know much about chiropractic?
I just hear you guys crack backs. That's all I know.
Okay. Well, I'm going to give you a little better explanation than we crack backs.
Okay.
One of the things that we as chiropractors are trained to do is we're trained to look at the body and we're trained to look at the nervous system, and we look for things that aren't in alignment. Okay? And oftentimes when you have two bones out of alignment, we call that, or it's defined as a subluxation. Okay? And so as chiropractors, we're trained to look for subluxations. So when we find those subluxations, what we do is with our hands, we actually put those bones back in place like they should be. And that's called an adjustment.
Does that hurt?
It does not usually cause the patient any type of pain, but you may hear an audible clicking noise, or what some people describe as a popping noise. It's not painful. You just hear it. Okay? So it's nothing to be concerned about.
Okay.
You're not getting the adjustment.
Jay, one of the things that you came in and you and I talked about was your low back. And so, like we discussed with the chart, one of the primary areas that we're going to be discussing today is your low back area. Now, one of the questions you asked me was, can we help? And by looking at your exam and your treatment plan, I think that we can, okay? How can we help is usually the next question that someone asks, okay? And so, like you and I just discussed, we're going to, as chiropractors, we'd like to adjust you. We'd like to put those areas that are out of place back in place for you, okay? And so, in the beginning, we'd like to do this 3 times a week for about 2 weeks. Now, at the end of that 2 weeks, we would like to reassess you and see if you need to stay on that treatment plan. But meantime, between the days that we're seeing you, we would like you to do some physical therapy, which I'm going to show you here in the office today. But we'd also like you to do some exercises at home, or you can do them during the day when you're out on your job site. Now, Lacey, one of the things that's very important that you're here today is one, to help encourage Jay to do these things, okay? And it's also for a second set of eyes, so you can see these things and help him when he is doing this at home.
Okay.
Now, Jay, why we ask you to do that is because it will strengthen these muscles and it will decrease the amount of times that you have to come in and see me.
Okay, I'm
So-
good with that.
That's an important thing. Most people want to do this as fast as possible.
Right.
Sure.
And by doing your exercises and your physical therapy, this will definitely help you to decrease your amount of time in here. Okay? So at the end of the 2 weeks, with everything that you're doing and everything that we're doing together, we're going to reassess your treatment plan and see if you need to stay at this, or if at that point we can decrease this and get you going on your way a little bit faster. Okay? Decrease the amount of time that you need to spend here.
Okay.
Fair enough?
Yeah, sounds
Okay.
good.
Do either of you have any questions about any of the things that we talked about today?
Sis, you got any questions?
The only question I have is, like, what's the total between those 2 weeks?
Okay, so each adjustment is going to be $50. Okay, so at the end of the 2 weeks, we're looking at about $300. Okay, and so then we're going, like we just talked about earlier, then we're going to reassess you at the end of the 2 weeks, and we're going to determine if you need that type of treatment anymore, or if we can cut that down.
Probably gonna leave it for or somebody.
I might be able to help you.
Alright, yeah. Eat me up,
No
Scotty.
more questions.
Okay, well, if you guys are ready to get started and you don't have any more questions, we'll head to the treatment room and get you started today.
All right, sounds good.
Sounds good.
Great, thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.